45-degree angle? Why is he bent at the waist? Why are his pants so tight? I mean, look how tight his pants are. These are the tightest pants I've ever seen. I was questioning the belt. Why do you need a belt that tight? You're in space. Gravity's not tugging at your pants. So he can't sit at a 45-degree angle because he's fighting gravity, because he's dangling from cords. And the cords are probably, I think they're behind his waist and behind his legs, maybe upper back, which is why they wear the collars. You'll never see an astronaut in a bathing suit ever. They can't do it.
This man is a false.
Anyway, listen to what he says to the president.
Speaking false gospel.
Oh, and then, now I'm talking to the president of the United States while hanging from a wall.
Sorry, Tim Ozman individual is.
Now I'm talking to the president of the United States while hanging from a wall? Wait a minute, hanging? I mean, I've been saying for a while that they're dangling from cords. They're in front of green screens. They use augmented virtual reality. We know this to be a fact.
Yeah, if they're using augmented virtual reality, why aren't the...
This is such a horrible joke, and that was a slip. He's talking to the president.
Composites being
hanging.
Listen, why won't you admit that?
That to the station.
You said you cut me off. You end the show. You're afraid of me.
Oh, and then,
now
you're
afraid of me.
Talking to the president of the United States while hanging from a wall.
I know too much.
While hanging from a wall.
The metascript is a false
not
principle.
Floating, not free floating. So, I think that was just something of a giveaway. Let it slip. But yeah, the guy's pants are way too tight.
Simply the definition it represents. Means nothing. It's garbage.
This is the guy who drinks the coffee balls, which I don't even want to play that.
I don't even know what he talks about anymore, man.
No, it's pretty crazy when you go into it. And I
talk about things, but
put
now
the archives up
seems as though
earlier today. We went over that.
He really just makes things up as he goes.
This is something else which has been very problematic for a lot of the believers in this thing, is that Starlink satellites, and I still have
show you an
debating
article
me on this point. And I think it's just a matter of
really
visualizing and really thinking about this. So my question is this: can an object 200 miles above the surface of the Earth reflect the sun at midnight?
That dude barely talks about flat Earth anymore.
200 miles up.
He's a shill.
And my contention is that at midnight, no.
His Discord
because,
is a cult.
Let's say you take out a globe. If you want to,
there's no question
kind
about
of
it.
Visually see how high 200
when
miles.
When I call, he ends the show.
It'd be like the thickness of a couple of credit cards.
He's afraid of me.
And there's no way that a light source on the other side.
He would not debate me. He never wants to debate me. Every time he gets hostile, he
certainly not to the luminosity we get with the Starlink satellites. Totally fake. And I try to explain to one of my main critics here, Dr. John Kirstenberger, who's an astronomer in Chicago.
Infinite lame society.
Who used to work for NASA. I'm like, look, an object 200 miles above the Earth at midnight can no more reflect the sun than your bald head can get wet while directly beneath an umbrella. Just a simple fact. He's still fighting it, though. It's been 3 days he's been working on the same blog post. Sun Rabbit says, Candy Coleman's hair was the most obvious thing for me. Oh yeah, they've given up so many times. They've just given it away. But you know what? They realize that those of us who can see can easily be drowned out. We can be laughed at. Commoner asks, where are the Russians getting water in space? Maybe they're getting space ice. Just taking the space ice and melting it. Because apparently space is full of ice and it's full of dust. Those are the various explanations we get. X33 says Dr. Kirstenberger needs to accept reality. No, instead he attacks people who don't agree with his reality, and I'm just like, well,
if you listen to this guy, stop listening to this guy.
You have a light source and you have a ball. On the other side of the ball, you have an object that's not high enough to reflect the light. And it is the case that it absolutely must be reflecting. And when they did the ISS simulations and then started pretending it was real, they made sure